the Reform UK leader is going to respond to what he believes is a barrage of Farage abuse towards Reform UK, which he believes potentially could put himself and the party activists and the machine in danger. I think he has grave reservations. Here is Nigel Farage now. Let's cross over.
Okay, thank you. Good. It's a bit wobbly. Good afternoon. Well, the Labour Party conference is over. The second party conference of our governing Labour Party, a party that won the general election with a massive majority, but finds itself just 14 months in very deep and in many ways deserved trouble. It's been an extraordinary conference. I've been watching party conferences for half a century. Never before have I seen one name so dominate a conference, and the remarkable thing is it's somebody that isn't even a member of the Labour Party. Yes, it's me, Nigel Farage, and I thought the Mac cartoon on the front of today's Telegraph summed the whole thing up rather beautifully. The sketch was two delegates leaving the Labour Party conference, one saying to the other, next year we're going to the Reform conference because they don't talk about Nigel Farage all the time. It has been obsessive. Whether it's the Home Secretary, whether it's the Health Secretary, it is a constant attack on me and what I stand for and what we as Reform UK, a party that has led the opinion polls now for over 100 polls, it's an attack on everything that we stand for and believe in. What I've learnt this week is that the government are incapable of beating us on our arguments. And as a result, the Prime Minister has decided to descend into the gutter and all of his cabinet with him. Let us be clear. Reform want illegal migrants deported from our country. And as I speak, a further 400 have crossed the English Channel today. Reform want the benefit system to be for UK citizens, for British citizens only, not for foreign-born nationals. Reform want foreign criminals removed from our country ASAP. Labour says these policies are racist and immoral, and by implication, Reform supporters, Reform voters, Reform sympathisers are racist too. Yes, if you think we should control our borders, you are, by the definition of the Prime Minister and his cabinet, all racists. Now, I don't normally worry about abuse being thrown at me. I've got kind of used to it over the course of the last few years. But to accuse countless millions of being racist is a very, very low blow. Why? Well, this language will incite and encourage the radical left. I'm thinking of Antifa and other organisations like that. It directly threatens the safety of our elected officials and our campaigners. And frankly, in the wake of the Charlie Kirk murder, I think this is an absolute disgrace. I used to think the Prime Minister was a decent man, somebody that I could talk to and chat to. We might disagree on worldview, but I thought he was a profoundly decent human being. I am completely shocked at his behaviour. I hope when he wakes up tomorrow morning, he feels ashamed of what he has done. This is a desperate last throw of the dice from a Prime Minister who's in deep trouble, a Prime Minister who can't even command the support of half of his own party. But I'm sorry to say, I now believe that he is unfit to be the Prime Minister of our country. His bizarre attempt this afternoon to invert patriotism and the love of flag was quite extraordinary. This is still the Labour Party of Gordon Brown. Remember that bigoted woman who talks about mass immigration? It's still the Labour Party of Emily Thornberry, who thought the Cross of St George on a van in Rochester was something truly awful. It's a Labour Party that could never accept any sense of English identity, even if it was more tolerant of Scottish or Irish or Welsh identity. Starmer says, I don't like or love this country. Well, let me say this. For 30 years, I've fought for British sovereignty. I fought for us to be a self-governing nation. Why? Because I always believed the best people to govern Britain were the British people themselves. And him, well, he, of course, didn't like the vote. The greatest result, the biggest democratic mandate ever given in this country, when in 2016 we voted Brexit. Now, he spent the next few years trying to overturn that result. He doesn't believe we should govern ourselves. He's happy, be it Brussels, be it the UN, be it a series of foreign courts. He's happy for us to be governed from there. He does not believe in Britain. He does not believe in the Britain that most of you out there believe in. And his total level of denial over broken Britain is quite extraordinary. We all know the roads are clogged in a way they never were before. We all know you can't get a GP appointment. We all know that crime is out of control. So much so that here in London, men don't wear watches, women don't wear jewellery, and don't get your mobile phone out, otherwise somebody on a moped will take it. Britain is broken and it needs fixing. And our vision for the future is the positive one. We believe that we can do it. This Labour conference lacks any vision, and we are going to continue, I'm sorry to say, in economic, social and cultural decline. But Starmer is right about one thing. We are facing a big fork in the road. He is a human rights lawyer who will bow down to foreign courts and to outdated treaties. And he has no idea of the division that open borders have caused within our communities, or indeed the anger and a sense of unfairness that people feel over two-tier policing and two-tier justice under two-tier care. What he and the rest don't understand, and the reason we're leading in the polls, is this country has had enough of a failing, gutless political class. It wants real change. Now look, I'm not a vindictive person in any way at all, but Reform will teach Keir Starmer and the Labour Party a lesson next May. Next May are our equivalent of the midterms, when the whole of Wales, Scotland, London and many other parts of the country will go out to vote on the first Thursday in May. We will teach Starmer a lesson next May that British political history will never forget. I am now, as a result of this week and the abuse that has been heaped upon our supporters and our voters, more determined than ever. Don't underestimate that.
Well, wow. That was the response there from Nigel Farage from Reform HQ just down the road. Just to quickly go over what was said there by the Reform UK leader in direct response, obviously waiting for the Prime Minister's delivery to end. He said, they are in very deep and deserved trouble. Never before have I seen a name so mentioned so many times. It was my own name. He joked that Nigel Farage will be mentioned less at a Reform UK conference than it would at the Labour conference. He said it did seem obsessive, a constant attack on me. It's an attack on everything I stand for, he said. They're incapable of beating us on ideas. So they've descended into the gutter. The Prime Minister has descended into the gutter, and he's taken his cabinet with him. He said, Reform says our policies are immoral, and by that the Prime Minister is saying by inference that all of Reform UK's voters are immoral and racist. He said, I've got used to the abuse. The abuse millions will incite, but the abuse will incite, he says, the radical left like Antifa, especially in the wake of the killing of Charlie Kirk. This is a disgrace, Nigel Farage said. It's a total disgrace. I hope he wakes up ashamed. He said, I feel he is unfit to be the Prime Minister. Keir Starmer is unfit to govern our country. He then said that Keir Starmer says, I don't like this country, but for 30 years I fought for this country. He spent 3 years trying to overturn Brexit. He's happy for us to be governed by Brussels, by the United Nations, he went on. And then his total denial about broken Britain is extraordinary. Men don't wear watches anymore. Women don't wear jewellery. And don't get your mobile phone out. He concluded by saying the Labour Party lacks vision. But he's right about one thing, the Prime Minister. We have a fork in the road. We're faced by two-tier justice, two-tier police under two-tier Keir. A failing, gutless political class. He said, I'm not a vindictive person at all, but reform will teach Labour and Keir Starmer a lesson that British political history will never forget in May. And at that, Nigel Farage signed off.